StreamYard. You've not even been able to see all this time. I forgot how to use StreamYard. Sorry. I will. Sorry. We just totally, let's just do that again because I forgot to unmute it. I was just saying that sometimes we think about the birth as like the birth is the main event. Oh my goodness, the birth. And then, you forget about life afterwards. And you were saying?
I prepared until birth, and then after birth, I was like, oh, I didn't know this happened. Oh, how do you do this? Everything is up after the birth. Not only about the baby, but also about your body.
Your body.
Yeah, as a new mom. Yeah, so it's interesting.
I think it's quite hard because there's lots of information out there. There are lots of books like, what to expect when you're expecting and things like that. But a lot of the time, because as you your focus is on, I've got to get this baby out. Yeah. Then sometimes you're not really even thinking about what's going to happen afterwards to my boobs, what's going to happen to my legs, my feet, my this. Oh, yeah. It's more of how is it going to feel?
I know. And is the baby going to come? So that's all you're preparing. Oh, I'll take walks. Oh, I'll drink special teas to make the baby come quicker.
Yeah.
But then what happens after the baby comes?
Yeah, what's going to happen? So what you need to tell us some of your secrets now. What are these special drinks to make the baby come?
Honestly, what did they tell me? Bush, like red bush tea.
Red bush tea. Yeah. What about those berry one, isn't it?
Yeah,
raspberry leaf.
Oh yeah, raspberry leaf. But then apparently that could give you premature labor pain. So
oh really?
Really,
okay.
Yeah.
But is that to bring it is that to bring the baby sort of to bring the whole process forward?
Yeah.
Or would you have still had those labor pains even when it was time for you to have labor? Do you see what I mean?
No, I think I don't know because they say that's why you should drink it after 37 weeks. Otherwise, when your baby will come when the baby is not due to come. So yeah, interesting.
I had I have to admit, I did have the raspberry leaf.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I was drinking it. I was drinking it I was drinking it like quite a while before, not because I was trying to get the baby to come, but just because it was a nice, I like herbal tea anyway. It was just a nice tea to be drinking. So, and I didn't really hold much stock in it, bringing about labor. I just thought, oh yeah, I might prepare my body and loosen things up before the baby comes. So yeah, that's the reason why I was probably taking it. So was there anything that you had in your mind that that you thought this will definitely happen during my pregnancy? Everyone talks about this, but then the reality of it was totally different.
Maybe a positive. Everyone said I'd have like really, really bad stretch marks on my tummy.
Yeah.
And I don't have any now. So
That's
it
great.
is a positive, and yeah, I'm really, really thankful. Because people have asked me, oh, what were you using? I have a feeling the creams or the lotions that I was applying didn't actually change anything. Like ladies' bodies are made differently, and
Yeah.
I might get them, you may not get them, or vice versa. So I don't know, maybe the massaging helped, or maybe the oils helped.
Which
I really-
massaging? So you went for like, did you go for private
No,
massage
like
sessions, or
every
you
time
went
I was
just
applying
put
the
on?
oil, then
Ah.
because I'm massaging my belly. So yeah, so that is really a really positive. Negative.
If you don't have any negatives, that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, you can just give us all the
No,
positives.
honestly, I wish I'd enjoyed my pregnancy more. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I was very anxious all the time. I was like, oh, is the baby moving? Oh, is the baby kicking? Do you know that?
Yeah.
And now looking back in hindsight, I'm like, oh, I should have
That's
relaxed,
to move this way.
relaxed and enjoyed my pregnancy more. So yeah.
Okay, so we need to move closer because we've had some feedback to say that it's not clear. Is that the volume? Let's see. Is it the image that's not clear, or is it the sound that's not clear? Right, I'll just increase that there. So might have to move a bit closer just so that we can get closer to the microphone. And we are using a laptop to record this, so we're just going live through StreamYard. So we're not using any external mics or anything like that. So that's probably why you're just picking up a little bit of that atmospheric sound. But thank you very much, sir, for bringing that up to us. So yeah, so it's one of those things like what do you mean by enjoying the process though?
Enjoying the changes my body is undergoing is a life-changing moment or experience, and I should have, embraced it, enjoyed it, and basically relaxed. Maybe took more pictures, maybe did things I wouldn't normally do, but I think I was really anxious.
Yeah. So you're just kind of counting the days in your head.
The days. Oh yeah.
Let the baby come, let the baby come,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And I should have slept more because we are not sleeping much.
Exactly. Take the opportunity to sleep while the baby's still in the tummy. I think one of the things that you forget as well is that when the baby's in your tummy, they've got free food.
Yeah.
They've got free rent.
I know.
They've got free heating.
I know.
They've got, all this stuff that's available, and you can free transport. Wherever you go, they go with you. So you don't even have to worry about that. But once they come out, you've got to think about, they've got free clothing. They didn't have any clothes in there.
Do you think about the clothes which they outgrow every week?
So you have to, would you say though that, what do you think the reason is behind your focusing on the baby growing and whatnot inside you and the birth process rather than planning ahead? What do you think mentally? Why do you think that happens? Because obviously we don't know if it happens to other people out there. If it happens to you where you're kind of only focused on the babe while you're pregnant, you're only focused on, oh my goodness, how's the birth going to be, rather than let me find information about what I need to do after the birth. So in your experience, you're focusing on the pre and birth. Yeah. Why do you think that was?
No,
why did you enjoy it?
For the pre, I wanted to make sure that the baby was growing the way they're meant to grow. The thing is, they tell you everything happens when they're still in the tummy,
like brain development,
eyesight, everything. So, you have to take care of yourself and eat well and, have enough sleep.
Which you weren't able to do.
Yeah. And then, of course, you want the baby to be safely delivered. So
Yeah.
you're also looking at, oh, how can I make sure she or he is definitely delivered? I'm going to take more walks, like I was told, oh, you take more walks, and you're making sure that your baby is more, your body is more relaxed and everything.
Yeah.
And then the delivery is the baby is coming out. That's the miracle of birth,
Yes.
You have the baby here. Oh, I'm so excited. What next? That's what I forgot to do. And I don't know if there's anyone out there who prepares. Please share your story. But most of the friends I've spoken to, they actually didn't. Even most of the classes I went to, it's up to when the baby comes. Actually, yeah, they demonstrate, you go give you all the scenarios, and maybe a few classes will include nappy changing.
What about bathing? I think I tend to remember, I think I missed my session, but there was something about like how to bathe a baby.
Yeah, so for me, I think it was nappy changing and how to bathe the baby. That was it.
That was it, yeah.
But I found some of the things very tricky, like putting clothes on a very tiny arm, like I'm like, oh, am I actually going
Hurting them.
hurting them? Oh, should I pull? Oh, she's pulling the arm away. So
yeah,
it was quite scary.
So how to cope with those things?
Yeah, how to cope with. I think the first thing that we, not the first thing, the thing that we mentioned a lot with my husband is about why do babies sleep during the day and
they're awake all night.
Yeah, that's the thing is, and that was really, really a shock for our system. I know people had said, oh, you'll have, sleepless nights, have,
Did you believe them when they said that though?
No, I did, because everyone talks about the sleepless nights, but I didn't know that sleepless nights in our first few days meant reverse sleeping. So sleeping, she would be sleeping during the day and awake at night. So and I was like, oh,
so you've been used to doing it the other way around.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, when does a baby actually understand that it's night and we need to sleep?
Yeah.
So some of those things, okay, I now have books and my friends have taken me with books that I wish I'd read these books
before
the baby arrived.
But do you think, I mean, it's one of those things, obviously, when you're pregnant, you've got all the hormones going, you've got those chemical changes in your body. Do you think you would have really remembered the post-birth stuff if you were reading it before you gave birth?
I think there are some things I would have that would have helped. Yeah. One of them is baby wearing,
Like carrying the baby.
Yeah, carrying the baby.
So you have to explain some of these terms because I'm rusty. Okay,
yeah,
so carrying the baby on your body.
My body,
yeah,
which they call baby wearing. I feel if I'd practice more, because
you have to speak a bit louder.
Yeah. If I had practiced more, maybe on real babies or maybe dolls, then it would have given me the confidence. Because now you see, I'm carrying the baby and my arms are free. I can do things. I can actually cook a pizza, or so. And then things about sleeping. Baby, when you're excited about the baby and you end up buying things that you actually want to use.
Give us an example of that. Which things did you buy that you're kind of like, nope, that was a waste of money?
Some of the things are actually gifted. So
okay, so you don't want to mention just in case.
Just in case, I'm like, oh, yeah, this money,
you should have used it for something else.
Yeah. So you get excited about all these baby gadgets, which will help the baby sleep, but then
okay, so what you mean.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually. Do you mean that they didn't work for you, or do you mean that you didn't even get a chance to use it? There wasn't like the opportunity. It wasn't. It's not practical to use.
No. Some of them, because I wasn't really confident.
Yeah.
And some of them were not practical, and others, the baby didn't actually like them. Being placed on some of the things that I had. I'm like, oh, this is really worth money. Yeah. So what I'm talking about is, if I prepared myself, like maybe read one or two books, and there are some books that have been gifted with the baby came, and which I had actually read them
before.
Yeah.
So what which books would you say? So you wish you had read some of those books. Which books can you recommend that you'd say, okay, this is really practical, straight to the point, doesn't fluff about, you know. Can you remember the name of any of the books?
Oh, please, give me a thought.
Or what was it that you liked about the book?
There's a book I've been reading, Come Baby Happy Mom.
Oh, Come. I think I've heard of it. I didn't read it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Come Baby Happy Mom.
It's a very guilt-free book that gives you recommendations about how to take care of the baby and how to cope with a sleepless night.
Let's speak a bit louder.
And about how to carry the baby or swaddle the baby so that they can sleep. I wish I'd actually read that. So that's one of them. Some of the others are actually articles that I found online.
Yeah.
Links that people have sent me, things about feeding your baby.
That's good. Did you sort of get into any of the online, let's say, videos, maybe people that have done things about? I remember there was one that I saw, which was about the cries of a baby and how that cry can mean certain things, like when they go nah nah, it means that they're hungry. So there's a guy that said they're like only 5 cries of a baby, and each one you can tell which one means.
I actually saw one video on what to expect.
Yeah.
And and some of these things you actually have to learn your baby. It doesn't necessarily mean that means the baby is hungry.
Because the baby might have a Ugandan accent, and might mean something else. Right?
Yeah.
So, what are the things then pre-birth that you would say that usually people don't talk about that, or this is one of the most useful things that a parent should know, and that's both men and women as well. So there might be some things that expectant dads that you're thinking, oh, this would have been really helpful if.
For me, it was about how much my body would change.
Yeah.
I think I was speaking to a friend recently, and I felt like my body has been battered,
battered.
Yeah,
that's extreme.
Yeah, I know, but one of the extreme cases, in my case, were how swollen my feet got. My feet were okay during the pregnancy, but then after the baby came, I couldn't wear any shoes.
How long did it take for your feet to get that?
Actually, almost 2 weeks, and it was really, really painful.
Oh, your feet were big for 2 weeks, but when did it start to swell?
Oh, when we go home on day 3 or day 4. So when we go home, I was actually thinking, oh, is there something wrong with me? I had to call the hospital immediately. They said, oh, no, that happened. And I'm like, it happens.
How come no one told me?
No one told me. And I'm like, no, but my feet didn't actually swell during pregnancy. They said, oh, some women, it happens after pregnancy. And yeah, it was
really bad.
It was really, really bad. Yeah.
I mean, that's quite interesting that the fact that it scared you so much that you had to call the hospital.
Yeah, it was so bad. Yeah, and then the other thing is about how going to the toilet would be really, 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 really painful.
What is that like? How long after birth?
Because I wanted to go on day 1 or day 2 and I was like, oh. And then they said, oh yeah, you should have taken something to help. And I was like, oh, is it too late now? But because my body was
doing its own thing.
Yeah, its own thing. And I really, really, really struggled with the pain and the pain, the baby's crying, but also the body struggling. Yeah.
Did you find that when you were feeding your baby, did you get really bad cramps?
Yes.
Contraction cramps.
Yeah.
Were they really bad?
Yeah, they were really bad. And no one mentioned that.
Tells you, yeah. I found that with my first, I didn't really get the cramps that bad. But when I had my second, oh my goodness, it was I think it was equivalent to the pregnancy contractions. And I was thinking, what? Yeah. So I think sometimes as well, you might assume that, oh, because you've had a child before, that you know what to expect. But, you know, each child is a different journey and everyone has a different experience. So now, question, since you brought about the toilet, did you find that you needed to use maternity pads after you gave birth?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and it's so amazing how long it lasts, like how long the bleeding lasts. I think for me it was about 6 weeks.
Wow, I can't even remember.
Yeah, so it is like a really, really long time. Yeah.
Now the thing is, what do you think about some of these products that they sell? Because like maternity pads, I'm thinking, really? What's the difference between a maternity pad and a normal pad? Because the maternity pad are thicker. For those who don't know, they're like the old style pads, you know, the pads that were really thick that they still have. Those were the maternity ones.
No,
but you could use a normal. I always find that you could use a normal pad. In fact, the normal pad would even be better for me because it's got wings and all of that.
No, but for me, it wasn't just about the wings. I wanted something that was soft to
sit on.
Yeah. What I found with the normal pads, because they usually put some gel to, to help with absorbing everything.
Yeah.
Then they become really, really hard. No, not really hard. They become because it's not. Yeah. But then the maternity, the ones at least I had, were really soft. So because it's painful, so having something at least soft to sit on
was a bit better for you. Yeah. No, I think I probably would have liked and preferred to use the normal ones, just because if you wanted something soft to sit on, you sit on the bed. I didn't feel like I needed something chunky, something else chunky, and that's the testament again to how people are different.
Yeah.
And how we all operate differently, and we all have different preferences.
Yeah.
I wish we could switch this round so that you could be seen, because we can't move that across. There you go. So yeah, basically that's the beauty of life is that we're all different. We all have different, body shape, body sizes, ways that we feel pain as well. And I think that's an important thing as well, because did you Google pain-free births?
Oh,
before birth?
Yeah, I did. And I got sent videos of some of them. And I don't know, people should come and tell us if they've undergone pain-free birth. Did you go through pain-free birth?
No, I had pain. I had pain in my birth.
Yeah.
But I was, looking. I did Google pain-free birth to see, if their techniques or what it was. And I think most of the stuff was that a lot of the things are in your mind, that because you're also already tense and you're already tight and you're already, then the body's, the body, feels pain more. But I think, if you're relaxed and everything, then it's probably a bit better. So they're probably not saying, total pain free, because the contractions are doing something physical to your body. It's like me pinching you, you will feel something. So yeah, if anybody out there has actually had a pain-free, as in no pain during your birth, then yeah, kindly share your experience. And I've just put the link. There's a link in there if anybody wants to jump in live and chat with us. Just click on that link and I could see you and I can add you to that. We're just making our pizzas right now. I will show you. I'm doing the second one now. I'll keep this here for a while. I'm doing the second one now. So I'm going to decide what to put on the pizza. As we go along. So I'm just going to add some cheese, and then we'll come back to our talking here.
Butterfly shaped pizza.
Yeah, butterfly. You see, that's what I was going for, a butterfly shaped pizza. It's in no way, an accident or a misshaped pizza. This is it. You see, when you go to like a, expensive restaurant, you get pizzas that, not expensive restaurants, but like pizza places. You get pizzas that are oddly shaped, that shows that they're handmade, not the perfect circles. So this is kind of like your bespoke pizza, and I am your designer. So here we're going to add some mushrooms to this pizza. Yeah, get a drink. You need to keep hydrated. We're going to add mushrooms. We're going to put some pepperoni. We're going to put some sausage. And at the end of this, I'm going to add some spinach on top, but I won't put that before. I'm going to put that closer to cooking. So I need that a little bit higher because I want that to really cook. So yeah, this is the pizza. Of course, you can add whatever you want to a pizza. It depends what ingredients you've got at home, I would say. That will determine what sort of pizza you want to make. So this is ready to go in the oven now, and then we'll carry on making it. I'm going to add chilies to mine, but I think that will probably be one of the kids' pizzas. So
Can I see, Mommy?
hold on.
Wow.
Wow, that's nice. It's hot. Move back, please. Yeah. Of course you can. So, oh, that's very good. So, what we're going to do now is going to carry on making the pizza, and we're going to jump back and forth to pre, post, but then if you have any questions, just put the question in the chat box. Now, post, you are not at the moment having dairy. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm making pizzas and cheese. I'm going to leave cheese out of yours. So, what exactly can why is that? And is that to do with pregnancy, do you think? Was it something that you had before?
Oh, I had so many theories, and possibly, possibly there are some people out there who will disagree. So my baby started having problems with. Okay, I noticed a difference in her nappy when I resumed taking cow milk after birth. I didn't take cow milk during pregnancy because of other health reasons.
Okay.
When I reintroduced it, her nappies changed.
Okay, so when you introduced, so you stopped taking cow's milk while you're pregnant.
Yeah.
While you're pregnant, you stopped.
Yeah.
Then when you gave birth, you thought, okay, the baby's out now. Let me start having cow's milk, right? Yeah. But then, were you totally breastfeeding, or were you breastfeeding and formula?
No, it's exclusively breastfeeding.
You were exclusively breastfeeding, right? Yeah. Okay. So then, when you then started taking the cow milk again, you noticed that her stool, her poo was different.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how was it different? What was different about it, or what color, or what?
So it was very runny. You could say baby poo is already, but it was an extreme case, and right. It was green, and it was at one point there was a little speck of blood.
Ah, okay. That's not good.
Yeah, it was quite scary.
Yeah. So why did you put that down to the cow's milk?
No,
could it have been anything else?
I spoke to it could have been soy as well, because soy protein is also apparently not okay. It's one of the things that would lead to green poop apparently. But after that, I spoke to a couple of health professionals, and they advised me to actually take cow milk out to make that again.
Yes.
Which I did, and gradually, it didn't happen instantly.
Straight. Yeah.
Her poo became normal again.
Okay. And have you tried to reintroduce cow's milk?
Someone has suggested that, but I'm not brave enough.
There's a process of elimination to see if it was really that.
Or it was that, or was it actually something else that it at that time. Yeah. But I haven't really been brave, and also I found that not taking cow milk is good for me.
For you as well. So okay, that's always a good reason, isn't it? If you find that there's something that is aiding you as an individual, then why not just keep it going anyway? Okay. So now what did you feel, or how was your experience with getting advice from people who had given birth before you gave birth? What was that like?
I have a very, very good supportive system, a group of friends who gave me really, really useful advice. And I'm so grateful for that. I still go back to one or two or three for a few things.
Yeah.
But then some of the well-meaning advice I've got is may not actually apply to me and my current situation and everything. For example, something that I talk a lot about is sleeping when the baby is sleeping.
Yeah. Just before you go into that, we're just going to say hi to H2 Delirious. Thank you for joining us today. If you have a YouTube channel, just say yes in the chat. And we're just talking here with Lady D about her experience with her lovely child here that she's carrying. While we make food, we're making pizzas. And we're just talking now about advice that people give you before you give birth, people that have given birth, the advice that they give you before you give birth, how that is, that whole process.
Yeah.
So we were just saying that you just said that you had some people who gave really, really good advice, but some actually wasn't really relevant to your situation.
My situation, yes. Sleep when the baby sleeps.
Yeah.
I've had that a lot, and I agree, especially in the first few weeks because you're both tired, and any opportunity you get to sleep when the baby sleeps is really good. But then I found that then I was struggling to do other things. Oh, how is I going to
wash? Do the washing.
Do the washing, or take a shower, or
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
a simple thing is taking a shower.
Yeah, taking a shower, and actually sometimes I wanted to have my tea, without carrying a baby.
Yeah.
And I can't do it while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then also, as my baby grew older, I found that she preferred sleeping when we're on the move. So when we're either in a sling, like the way I'm carrying her now, or if I put her in a pram, and we go outside. So then, how do I sleep when the baby's sleeping? Exactly, because if you're driving or, then it's going to be hard for you to do that. Yeah, and then the other things I've heard about is starting a routine when it's still early. And it is really well-meaning advice, but for me, I've struggled with that because I want to follow her patterns, her cues, but I don't want to, restrict it to, it's 1 p.m. She needs to feed. 2 p.m. she needs to nap, Yeah. So for me, I've had the flexibility to actually follow what I feel is happening with her. Yes. And it's actually helped me put back because people, it's worked for so many people, and that's brilliant. So, but for me, that didn't work. Oh, that looks delicious. That's our first pizza which has come out. So we're going to be putting some more in.
I hurt my tongue.
Oh, sorry, darling. This is too hot. Okay, don't touch it. So, how would you advise someone then who was in your situation? You see, this is the thing. This is reality on a producer's life. We like to keep things real. Kids are still around, still up doing things. So, what advice would you give to somebody who was in your situation? What else do you want on your pizza? I'm going to put spinach afterwards. So what advice would you give to somebody else then to deal with that if they kind of feel a bit overwhelmed by the advice, overwhelmed by people saying, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it's not actually relevant to them? And most times it's actually well-meaning. So usually I would say, oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you very much for your advice, but that doesn't work for me at the moment. Yes. Or, that is brilliant. I'll think about it. Oh, I'm going to read more about it, Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, you're still receptive and, Yeah. But it gives you a chance. You don't want to actually dismiss. Yeah. Yeah, anything. Yeah. Because I've had people who were thinking, oh, you need a routine. For example, 3 hourly sleeps, It means your life is then predictable and you can plan things. But then, so it is really nice. But then on a reality, on a real level,
Yeah, on a real level.
on a day-to-day level when no one else is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard. So yeah, listen to people, and there's like a lot of people out there who will give you good advice.
Yeah. And do you find that, did you get any advice from sort of people that expected you to implement the way they had said it and what they had said?
Yeah.
So how did you respond when they see you and you haven't done it?
The other thing that I really struggle with is thing with people saying, "Oh, you hold the baby too much."
Oh, okay, hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I struggle with that because a baby cannot manipulate you. I don't think the baby can manipulate you. So when they need to be held, then it's a need, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, I put my baby down. I do, or I leave her for minutes or few things.
Yeah.
But then when I've had someone tell me, "Oh, she's crying, and why are you lifting her so soon?" If she's crying, it means there's a need. A need that needs to be met, and that's how the only way a baby can actually express that. You know,
there's something wrong.
There's something wrong. You know. Okay. So for you to tell me, "Oh, don't hold her. You need to train her." I don't know how you train a baby, but yeah, I know you can train a baby, but if that's the only way a baby can express their needs, then
Yes.
I think you're missing out on things.
Yeah. So, do you think that there comes a point where, what do you think the age is or the point is? The kids are saying something is funny. I think their dad is doing something funny and playing with them. Okay, when I finish making the pizza, then I can come and see what's funny. Okay. Right. So, when do you think is the age that you could then start training a child? Because people are like, "Oh, train from when the moment they're born." When do you think?
6 months is fine, but for me, I was struggling because the people who are telling me my baby was just a few weeks old, you know, still a newborn, you know.
Yes.
That's a butterfly.
Oh, there's the butterfly pizza here. Sorry, I'm lifting it up because I'm trying to keep the kids out of the shot. Because they need to be playing around the corner. Come in a minute, okay? Yeah, so you're saying from about 6 months, you would have been more comfortable with receiving that type of advice. Because I think in my situation, because I've read some books, it's coming onto here. Reality of life, guys. So if you want to join in the chat, then click on the link and I will add you. Okay, let me see. Right, we're just going to see what's funny. Lady D, if you could take over and chat to the people about anything about I think you really gave good advice, really, but actually about how to respond to people. If you could repeat that again on how to respond to people that are well-meaning, but maybe not really helping you.
Hello. There'll be very many well-meaning people out there, and some of them have older kids, so it's not like they actually are not parents, but you need to take the advice.
Oh, you see, baby's woken up now. So you need to pick the advice that you take on board.
Yeah, take on board.
But from what you said, you listen to what everyone has said. You take into consideration, and then you apply what's relevant to you. I think the other thing to point out as well is, if you're not pregnant and you're not going through that situation, or you're not a new dad, nervous, all of that, just show a bit more empathy as well. Because yes, you might have all the answers and all the solutions, but just remember, where are they in their journey, and would there be a better time to actually speak to them about certain things? Especially if you see, like, let's say if they're stressed or whatever, just have a bit more sort of emotional intelligence to be able to say, okay, this person is going through this at this point in time. It's not gonna hurt them that much if I give this piece of advice maybe in 2 months' time or 3 months' time, because especially if the person is happy with where they are at that point in time and they're not seeking, please tell me how to do this, please show me how to do this. If you're going out of your way to say, do it this way, then just really be aware of that, because one of the things that we probably don't talk about as much is the fact that one of the things that we probably don't talk about is hormones, and how hormones can affect you emotionally, physically. Could you talk a bit about hormones? Look, turn the volume down. Can you talk about that?
So after you've given birth, there's your hormone composition changes. So there's up and down. There's a fall in one of them that makes you happy and sad and everything. So imagine you're giving advice to a new parent, and they said day 5 is actually the worst.
I don't know. Day 5 of after birth.
Yeah, after birth. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember my health visitor saying, "Oh, these are things you should look out for."
Okay.
Because that's when most parents really, really struggle.
Yes.
Because of hormones, and some become anxious and very.
Some become anxious and very emotional.
Yeah, very emotional. So imagine you're meeting a new parent who is on day 5 and you're lashing out on how they shouldn't be carrying the baby too much.
Lashing out?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So some people are that extreme where they're like, oh, no, don't do
that.
Yeah. Okay, because I think, even if someone is not even if someone just hasn't given birth, really, I think as adults, we really shouldn't be, lashing out at one another. It should be more of a gentle advice, and considering that everyone has a choice to do things the way that they want to do it. And if you kind of have a useful suggestion for someone, then you can make the suggestion and walk away, but in a way that is not not a you must do this. It's a case of, okay, this is maybe what I did. So you're talking from personal experience. This is what I did. Yes, darling. Oh, not right now, Nara. You can help me in the next one, okay? This is what I did, and this is what worked for me, rather than this is what you must do, and if you don't do it, everything is gonna fail. Because I don't think that's really helpful. So obviously you can't speak on behalf of your other half, but do you think that there's anything that he went through that would be useful for some of the guys out there to hear?
Are you okay?
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I burnt myself a bit. I need to use this pen. But thank you for asking. Yes. Is there anything that you can think of?
I think sometimes actually men are neglected.
Yeah.
And yet, especially in my case, we were in hospital for a long time, and he was there, and he wasn't having sleep either because they don't give
A proper bed.
They give you reclining seats, but they give you reclining seats. So he also was struggling, with sleep.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah, lack of sleep, and then the baby comes. The baby wasn't sleeping in the night. So I think there should be more support for men out there.
You can have daddy to cut. There should be more support for men.
Yeah.
Something like a bed.
Yeah.
You'd have thought that that's an event.
Yeah,
let's say the giving of the birth is an event that they would expect that maybe someone would have to be with the mother.
Yeah, and especially if they want the men to actually get involved.
Yeah. So as I promised, we're just going to get some spinach, and we're going to wrap this up now in 5 minutes. I'm just putting the last pizza in because we want to sit down and enjoy our food. But yeah, if you'd like to jump in and add your 2 pence to the conversation, then just click on that link, and we will see if we have enough time to add you into the conversation. But I can't see right here I can't see if there are any comments on here at all. Maybe I should click the link and see if I can see it Oh. There we go. Let's see if I can see the link. Just to make sure I haven't missed any comments. Okay, there I can see that there. Yeah. Okay, so to wrap things up, as I said, we're going to have some spinach to put on top of the food. Yeah, I'm watching it from YouTube just so I can see what's on their live. Yeah. So right, this is your 5-minute chance now to tell people exactly what it is that they do not tell you when you are going to give birth, before and after, and be as raw and as honest with everyone. You have to move a bit this way. And I can speak a bit like that. So what they don't tell you, or what people should know.
That you can never prepare enough. There will be surprises. You can write a birth plan and it will go according to your plan, or you'll still have surprises, like we did have surprises, but it's still a difficult experience, and our bodies are meant to birth. So yeah, it's amazing what our bodies can do. And what I tell new mothers now, take a stool softener. I really, really struggled. I'll never forget that.
Do you hear that? Take a stool softener.
Yeah.
There are many brands out there, but like Senna is a brand, a herbal brand.
Yeah, I don't know why no one actually really told me about that, but yeah, take one and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Like I am enjoying this.
And then, so the other thing you said as well was the feet swelling.
Oh yeah, the feet swelling. My feet got swollen a lot, and after speaking to a few people, they are actually also swelled. So I don't know why they don't really talk about it. They talk about swollen feet during pregnancy, but they don't talk about swollen feet after pregnancy. So yeah, get ready for that.
But I think in summary, everyone is different. Everyone's experience is different, right?
Yeah.
But there are some commonalities there, some things that people just forget to say, like the swollen feet and whatnot. The pains after birth when you're breastfeeding, you could get really bad contractions. And we need to probably do another session on nipples, because I think that warrants a whole discussion by itself. Nipples, right?
Yep.
So there's a whole breastfeeding process, bottle feeding, whether to use a dummy or not. It's just a myriad of things that we need to sort of think about, and that we all have different opinions on. But it was really nice actually hearing from you, because you've gone through that process recently, and just hearing from you that, yeah, it's a beautiful journey. But when you're in the process of it, when you're in the midst of it, lots of things going through your mind. If you can actually enjoy the process, that's the takeaway.
Yep.
Once you give birth, enjoy the process, but be aware that certain things might happen, and that certain things might shock you. But just be aware of that. So take stool softeners, or eat lots of greens and vegetables to help beforehand. And be aware that your feet might swell after you give birth. You might be retaining water. And we will probably come back and do some more of these so that we can actually get people's contributions as well. But we are signing off now. Don't forget to thumbs up. Thank you for coming in. And once this is finished, you can still share the video so that people that weren't able to join right now, I know it's dinner time, can actually watch it later. But I've been Elizabeth Ngero, Producers Life in Uganda, and this is Lady D with me today with a beautiful baby. And thank you very much for joining us. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye. We're going to eat our pizza now. Bye.
Mama say bye-bye.
Yes, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Nora, say bye-bye. Daddy, say bye-bye.
Who are you talking?
Thank you.
Thank you.